Deion Sanders promises Colorado we're gonna win. So, just in a nutshell, for those who don't know what's going on with the Deion Sanders thing, Deion Sanders is the head coach at Jackson State University, which is a HBCU.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And when he came to this to Jackson State, you know, a lot of people, they kind of shun their nose up at HBCUs. You know, they don't really, everybody want to go to like a mainstream college.
Who is this?
Most
the
like
athletes?
Athletes and even the coverage of ESPN and all of them. They don't really cover HBCUs like they cover the main campus, you know, colleges.
Okay.
So when Deion Sanders came to coach at Jackson State, he kind of brought that media attention there.
Oh,
and he also because of who he is, he's prime time.
Okay.
And also he also is a good coach. So they're winners. He made them winners and made them where they could compete on that level of professional, you know,
the
athletes.
Next level for the
scouts would be looking at them the same way they would look at any other school.
Okay.
To draft them into major places.
Okay.
So he did a lot, you know, as far as bringing them there.
Okay.
He not only did that, he spent his own money. Because, you know, a lot of HBCUs don't have a lot of money.
Exactly.
And if they do have money, they're not going to pour it into sports. They're going to put it into other things.
Right.
So he spent his own money pouring into that university and the team and everything. Helping the facility and uniforms, everything. Like his own, you know, time. Well, he gets a call from Colorado. And they want him. They want to take him from Jackson State, pay him way more money. I think he gets $1 million at Jackson State, and I think Colorado wants to pay him $5 million. So it's way more money.
Okay.
So he took the job. He said, "Okay, I'll leave Jackson State and I'll go and I'll coach at Colorado."
Was Colorado not an HBCU?
No, it's a regular university.
Okay.
It's a major university.
Okay.
So the internet is uproar. So you have some people who are for him leaving and saying, do what you need to do. Make, you know, that's, you know. And then you have some people saying he's a sellout. A lot of black people saying he's a sellout because he's leaving a HBCU and he's going like they do everything else. They take everything else from us. Of course, they're going to take you. So for me personally, I have dual thoughts on this. Wow. I can see both sides to both of this for this point. But the ultimate, I feel like he needs to do what's good for him. But the bottom line is I do see both parts.
You were building this up really nice. And when I was getting, it's funny.
You thought I was going to say he denied it.
It was funny that you said it because when you were building up what he was doing
right.
State, his own money.
Right.
Knowing how it's always been.
Petconomics Savings Lesson 58. At Petco, you can shower your pet in care while showering yourself.
I was getting excited. A part of my heart was thinking, he cares for the HBCU.
Right, which he does.
He wants to make a difference. He
did.
And I'm saying, can you not continue that journey?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So let's go back and forth.
HBCU.
Well, let's go back. Let's look at this on two sides. Man. On one side, I see people's point in, at this point in Deion Sanders' career, it's not about money. Because he doesn't need to go anywhere for money. He has money. But on the other side, I see, we don't know what his own personal aspirations have been in his life. You got to remember, he played professional football. So there's not a lot of black college coaches in football. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not a lot of black college football coaches on mainstream. So in his mind, he could have been like, I'm trying to change that narrative. I've done everything that I needed to do. Now, this is what he said from God. He said God led him to Jackson State, and he went to Jackson State. And he said, and God told him, I want you to plant that seed, and I want you to do the stuff that I'm telling you to do. He said, a lot of people don't realize I've given my life over to God. So I go where God tells me to go. And you may not understand it, but it's my relationship with God. Mm-hmm. So I kind of see his point there too. Because sometimes God can lead you to a place to plant a seed, but it don't mean he wants you to stay there forever. He wants you to plant a seed, get them going the way they need to go, and then another man will come and water it, and then another person will come.
Jackson State?
Oh, I don't know. So my thing is not that long, but long enough to make a change. So my thing is that we don't know if that's the reason why God sent him there to plant that seed and get them on the right track that they need to go. We don't know. And then we don't know if what he's saying is for real when he said God told him to move on and go to Colorado. Now, when he went to Colorado and I sat there and watched him speak in front of them, it was just as many black guys in the audience. Let's be honest. Whether you play for an HBCU or a mainstream university, most of the athletes are black.
Right.
So he's still pouring into the lives of African American boys.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not at an HBCU, I'm sitting there looking at black guys all sitting in the audience looking at him. So black people go to more than HBCUs. We go to other universities too.
Right. When they're on these, when they're playing these pro balls, a lot of them are shouting out the schools that they're attending.
So how do we know? And I agree with him that God could be moving him that direction because there aren't a lot of black coaches that are at mainstream universities. And these black boys is there. They don't have that type of one-on-one type of interaction with a black man that's their coach. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up playing for like Jerry Jones and them, the owners. Like we see Jerry Jones in that picture from 60-some years ago, glaring over black people trying to get into
like, don't come in this school.
And they end up playing on these teams. You see what I'm saying? And some of them, their first interaction with a black coach isn't even until they get to some of these main places and they have those black coaches on some of those teams.
Okay.
So we don't know. But my thing is, at the end of the day, he has to do what is for him and his family and what God tells him to do. So that's my opinion.
I always understand this too,
but I understand both sides though.
I'll understand this in any of our lives if we are people of faith, and the moment you put it out there, your vision, your goal, and what God has called you to do, you're going to get some pushback. Yeah, you're going to get negative conversations coming back. You're going to get people calling you names and whatever, because we see that even in the Bible. Right. And there's even times when you don't even want to tell people your vision. You know, write it down, make it private. Because God can be, if the thing is with him, because I did feel the other side of oh man, he's leaving the HBCU. Oh, he's bringing popularity to the HBCU. Help the HBCUs. If you're gonna leave one, go to maybe another one will pay you more, and you can work on that and do that, build that team up. But why do we always try to put our vision, our goals, our ideals on somebody else? But then God may have a different purpose for them. Until you're opening my understanding. The bottom line is, if God is leading you to that place where he guides, he provides. So you can think what you want to think about it. Hey. The minute somebody throw the word God in there, I'm done. I back up. Cause I don't know. I can't judge your relationship with God. You could be missing God. You can't be missing God. I don't know. But the minute somebody says, this is what God told me to do, or this is the direction God is sending me in. Pretty much what they're saying is, God is telling me to do this, so you might as well be quiet. So I'm not gonna speak ill will of it because I don't know. So all I can say is I do understand the other side, because I feel like there was some boys there that they probably went to Jackson State because he was there. And now you're leaving. Yeah. So now it's like, I came here because of you, coach, and now you're leaving. So I can see that. I can see both sides. Okay. I can see both sides. Okay. But leave Deion Sanders alone. Let this man go and make his money. Let him go on and do what he needs to do. I mean, usually guys that are making all these comments, you can pay them $5 more and they'll leave their job they own now. Because we talking about $5 million. These guys is doing all this talking on YouTube and Facebook. Right. And if somebody comes and say, hey, I'll pay you $5 more to leave, they'll be gone in a second. So as long as that to me, I think the thing that cleared it up for me is when you said, he said God told him. That was it. We all known him to be a little arrogant, a little. Well, we've known him in the past to be like that, and into himself, self-absorbed. Yeah. So a lot of times you think, God, you got a relationship with him. Right. When do you talk to him? Because you talk to yourself more than you talk to God. So you thinking all of that in his past and whatever. But the moment he put, boom, God said leave. There's nothing you can do. I was there for a season. I'm done. Now I'm moving on. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. We can't be, mad at him. So that's why I said, just leave him alone and let him do whatever he does. I get it. And quit. Everybody always got to make comments about
when somebody says God is leading them to do something. And also, why is it always black people that can't just be like, you know what, good for you, man. Good for you.
I pray that
now
you
that
do
you
well. Yeah.
Now that you moved on, and maybe now the world can see how great you was on our level, rather than looking at it negative, saying why they always go
solo.
Yeah. And then the same black people who would tell you to risk your life and give up your life to do something for black people, when it comes time to let something come out negative about Deion Sanders, they'll throw him to the curb so fast his head is spinning. He'll be like, I gave all this up for y'all.
And be ready.
So, I'm not doing that.
And be ready, Deion. If worst case scenario, you miss God,
then that's it.
It's still between you and God.
That's it.
You're going to get criticisms either way, man.
And then I'm watching people like Dr. Boyd, Watkins. Y'all watch him. There's some stuff I listen to him, and then there's some stuff that I don't listen to him all the time because he's arrogant to me, and he thinks he knows everything. He's one of them sedified Negroes that know everything. And he always got an answer. For every black person, he has an answer for him. And I listen to him dog Deion Sanders out about leaving and stuff, and about working for the man and all this other stuff. He's on YouTube. He works for the man. And don't let these guys, y'all watch these guys, and even like how y'all watch us, don't get these woke Negroes that's on YouTube. Stop, y'all. I'm letting y'all in on a little secret. They work for the man.
Yeah.
They're monetized. We're monetized. So anytime you are monetized on any social network,
you're working for the man.
We get emails, we get warnings, we get yellow marks, we get take this out, we get you might want to do this.
Watch your
vocabulary. You'll get out the algorithm if you don't do this. Yeah. He works for the man.
Yes.
Dr. Boyd Watkins works for the man.
He's so militant sometimes. We're so blinded that you're working for the man, mister.
Because he don't clock in like you. Yes. He thinks he's better.
Yeah.
Because he don't clock in like these other black men with a lunchbox.
Thank you.
Talk about he don't have nobody telling him. Yeah, he don't have nobody telling him when he could go to the washroom. Yeah. He could get up and go to the washroom whenever he wants to.
Yeah, right.
That's what Dr. Boyd says. No, you can't. No. Because in 2025, if Google says we don't want you to go to the washroom in the middle of your program, then his black butt ain't gonna get up in the middle of his program and go to the washroom.
Yeah.
So stop with all of that.
Yep.
Okay. And then he's heavy into the stocks. You still work for the white man.
Yes.
So stop it.
Yes. Okay. It's so funny because
I didn't like how he went after Deion Sanders with that.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that. I didn't like when he said, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
And D.L. Hughley has said something. D.L. Hughley gives his opinion on stuff.
Yes.
And so Dr. Boyd wanted to come on there and say, I don't tell you how to do your job. I'm not trying to be a comedian. You should try to be like us. In other words, D.L., stay in your lane. Mm-hmm. But then on the other time, he'll listen to Dave Chappelle. Oh, Dave Chappelle is wonderful. Last time I checked, Dave Chappelle was a comedian.
Yes, he is.
How is he different than D.L. Hughley?
He's stamped comedian just the same. They the same job.
He's still silly. He still got a clown nose on.
Thank you. And sometimes put this Rick James wig on.
So I just don't like that. It's that arrogant. You know how some black people get money or get titles and they arrogant.
Right.
Like God speaks to the least.
Yes.
He speaks to somebody who probably don't even know how to even form words.
Thank you.
And leads them on how to lead people. Moses stuttered.
But he'll probably experience his big fall if he's such a prideful person.
Yes.
Because that pride will knock you down.
And there's some stuff that he says that I agree with.
That's everybody.
Just like Candace.
That's everybody.
Bobblehead Candace. There's things that Candace says I agree with.
There's some things that you say.
But the messenger. So I just wanted to say that. I didn't like how he went after Deion Sanders for that.
And if Deion's continue on, if God is leading you, you're going to get some criticism.
Exactly.
You're going to get pushbacks. You're
from
going
these
to call all
Negroes.
kinds of names.
Yes.
And God will use them as your footstool.
Always woke
Negroes.
Negroes.
Did the word say that?
Always.
Make your enemies your footstool.
But it's always woke Negroes who still work for white people.
Hey.
But somehow they feel like they so woke. And you still punching the time clock. You just doing it in a different way.
Right.
So get out of here.
So you're still asleep.
Oh, gosh. But anyway, if Deion Sanders, I support. As long as you said God told you to do it, I can't say that God didn't tell you to do it.
Because I can't